I think we are going now. So thank you very much, Nicole. Everybody, thank you again for tuning in. I am Sean Santoro with the Windsor, Ontario networking community. Welcome back for our one-on-one interview series here that we're going to be interviewing lots of different business owners, lots of different individuals, entrepreneurs, people that are out there helping other business owners just do things a little bit better, a little bit easier. So today, my wonderful guest is Nicole Anderson. She is the program director at the Windsor Essex Economic Development Corporation. Hey, I got it all.
Wonderful.
All right. So what we're going to be covering today is Nicole's going to give us a little bit of background on herself, the program that she runs, right? How they're really helping, right? All the other business owners and everybody out there that just kind of wants to know, how do we do business in this kind of environment? So yeah, as much insight as we can get, we definitely appreciate it, Nicole. So thank you very much. I'll be sure to shut up, but for those that really aren't familiar, tell us about yourself.
Sure. So I am the program director of the Women Entrepreneurship Strategy at Economic Development, as you'd mentioned.
Yeah.
And that's really running a federal grant that we had received to help increase the number of women entrepreneurs and women working in STEM fields in Windsor-Essex County, because we are unfortunately the region with the most underrepresented women in those areas.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so how long has this program been going on?
So we received this funding last year in the fall of 2019, and I jumped on board in November. I had recently completed a term with the University of Windsor. I had been with the university about 8 years. I co-founded the Entrepreneurship Center there, so I'd worked very heavily in the entrepreneurial sector. Our family owns their own business. My husband has his own chiropractic practice, so I'm very familiar with the entrepreneurial sector, and again, grew up in an entrepreneurial family. So I moved over to economic development to run this program for them. And as I worked through the grant that they had received and started funding the 6 organizations that were listed on this grant, I realized that this grant listed 6 of the over dozen not-for-profits and for-profit organizations in our area that are actually helping to increase the number of women entrepreneurs and women in STEM by offering programming and funding, etc. So I did my market research and looked at the landscape of partners in the ecosystem and thought to develop more of a network to bring all of these resources together for women to be able to access kind of like a one-stop shop. So what's available to women specifically who are pursuing entrepreneurial endeavors or who are working in STEM-related fields. And that's where Rise Windsor Essex was born. So we launched March 5th at an International Women's Day event. And then the following week, COVID-19, struck the area. So we are right now just operating online and kind of doing things behind the scenes to help.
Okay, that's awesome. And so no wonder, right? I'm a little bit new to it. As I said, I'm not super familiar with it. It's because you're brand new.
We're very brand spanking new, but hitting the ground running.
Perfect. Hey, why not, right? No, that sounds like a phenomenal program. And so a lot of the stuff, again, given the environment, but are you guys, right, once things get back to normal, are you guys looking at doing a lot of like an in-class and educational webinars, stuff like that, or?
Well, the purpose of Rise is not to recreate what's already out there. When we had, I guess some of the feedback we had received when we had applied for this federal grant was that, our area is somewhat fragmented. Everyone's kind of working on their own programming, which is, it's not necessarily a bad thing that we have so much programming and so many resources available to entrepreneurs, specifically female entrepreneurs, but no one's really working together. So the purpose of Rise is to bring everybody together kind of under one umbrella to showcase what's happening in the region. And Rise Windsor Essex, we don't want to be hosting our own events. We just kind of want to pump up what's happening. Once a year, though, Rise will be hosting its own summit to showcase what's happening in the region, not only for, as a hurrah for women in the area, but, to showcase what Windsor Essex can offer for women across the country, trying to attract more women to the area, as well as to indicate to the federal and provincial governments that, you know, we are helping women invest in our region as much as you can.
That's phenomenal. That's excellent.
Yeah, it's
I love
exciting.
that. Perfect. Well, this is great. See, and so like a lot of these things, I try and plug in on as many webinars and classrooms and right education as possible, because we never know right what we're going to learn until you hear a new idea. And so that's phenomenal that you guys got a new program going, because I think especially working in that kind of area and the experience that you have already kind of right seeing an entrepreneurship family kind of grow, you know, the power of being able to run your own business and just the ultimate freedom and all of the great things that kind of come along with it. Not to say that there's no headaches by any means. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But no, it's great to know that there's resources out there like your guys's director, your guys's group to help them out and really get some clarity and get some direction on what we kind of see. So now, being that you guys came on so quickly, or sorry, so quickly after you guys started up that COVID happened, have you seen a lot of engagement or a lot of growth in the amount of people that are saying, hey, I don't know what to do now, right?
Yeah,
what can we do?
I have in March, towards the end of March, I was getting a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails from women entrepreneurs who just, you know, they didn't necessarily know what to do. And this could be said, I mean, the Small Business Center saw from every type of entrepreneur, not just, you know, female related, but because, you know, I help females through Rise. A lot were reaching out to me. They didn't know, you know, what to do, how to pivot, how to really survive in in the world of COVID-19. So it was nice to be able to chat with some female entrepreneurs in the area to understand what their concerns were, help them reimagine their business. And luckily, the Epicenter at the University of Windsor had partnered at the time with economic development, as well as other partners in the area like We Tech Alliance, et cetera, to start offering a new program called the Epic Nimble program. And that helps organizations implement technology into their company to be able to pivot during COVID-19 and then hopefully become sustainable even after the economy reopens. So we were, you know, because of some of the programming that we had done during the launch, through some revenues that we had created through ticket sales of the events that we had hosted, Rise was actually able to sponsor $4,000 towards the Epic Nimble program.
Wow.
So yeah, to hopefully help a female-led company integrate technology into their business, because tech right now, if you don't have it in your business, you should be looking to incorporate it, because it will likely be what's keeping you afloat after the economy reopens. So and during the pandemic.
Like, again, right, we look at this, I mean, even this platform that we're using right now, imagine if this right wasn't created.
I know.
I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna have a phone call with Nicole and we're going to record it for people, which, hey, I listen to recorded calls too. Like, they're not as engaging. But yeah, like this kind of stuff that we have access to now, like it would blow somebody's mind if we told somebody 50 years ago, yeah, we're going to have a situation. Everyone's going to have to work from home outside of the grocery store workers, so to speak. But it'll be okay, because we're all just going to do it from our computer and we'll just video call.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's
interesting. There's just so many more platforms that have come up. I saw Facebook's got their own now, and you know, everybody's trying to hop on the bandwagon. But it is nice that a lot of these tech related businesses had started offering their technology for free, you know, and people remember that once life goes back to whatever the new normal might be, you remember which companies came out to help the small businesses and those who couldn't necessarily afford the cost of the tech beforehand.
Absolutely. Right. And there's even those small little add-ins, right, that you don't realize how beneficial and useful they were until you really started using them. Like So my business, I work insurance investment planning. So I do a lot of pen to paper work. I'm a little old school. I like old pen to paper. But throughout this process, I can't exactly come and meet you and just, slide something across the table and be like, yeah, I just need like 4 signatures there. And then we can talk about it and go through the plan. We can't exactly do that now. So, right, even me, I've had to adjust and kind of see how things have worked out. But to be honest, I've been really impressed in how seamless that's kind of been. And I'm not a tech specialist by any means. But I mean, even Adobe Sign or DocuSign, things like those, I signed up for a free trial account. It was perfect. Now, again, it's not free to use after, but hey, that'll be the best like $12 a month I'll spend, because it's going to allow me to do things like this, but do the whole process. Right.
And you notice that tech is becoming a lot more intuitive, very user friendly. I taught the first year business course at the University of Windsor for about 7 years. And one of the biggest things I talked about was Apple and how they are so successful because their platforms are so user friendly. My 2-year-old at the time was swiping through my phone, picking the picture she liked, and I was like, I had no idea how to use any piece of technology at her age, but Apple makes it so seamless that and I guess you'll notice more tech becoming more user friendly as the COVID-19 pandemic has changed our world. So
yeah, and again, like the kids. So I've got 2 young girls. They're playing in the other room right now because I'm like, yeah, I need to use the computer for a bit. But they've got their online classes set up, right? And they're working through their courses, and but they're like, turn it on. They log into the computer and they're like immediately navigating to Google and going through. I'm just like, where'd you learn how to do that so fast? And again, right, they're not lightning fast, but for a 6-year-old to be able to like, yeah, okay, click and get through, I'm like, you did that pretty quickly. So
it's a new world.
Exactly, right? By the time they're our age, they're going to be, we're going to seem like our parents, be like, Dad, what do you mean you don't know how to use a Zoom video?
I already feel that way.
Yeah, you click the button right here. Yeah, and even starting this, I'm like, oh, I think I got it working, right? They're going to have to educate us. But imagine what the technology is going to be like then. Like, who knows?
I know, it's exponential.
So, but so you said that you guys are still getting a pretty decent amount of activity from a lot of entrepreneurs and right, women that are just trying to get things going. Are you finding that it's pretty diverse across lots of industries? Is it a couple more in particular, or what are you finding?
Well, the women and the female entrepreneurs, I mean, in our area, women in technology in general, very, very severely underrepresented. So the female entrepreneurs that come to me, not very many are heavily focused in technology. So that's quite interesting. I mean, that really reflects the numbers that we've seen, especially, after applying to the grant with the numbers provided to us by Workforce Windsor Essex. But what we are seeing, though, are, like I'd mentioned, women who are trying to integrate technology into their businesses. So I think that'll bring their organizations to a new level. And women who are studying STEM related fields, that is starting to increase, but very, 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 very slowly. And recently we had Workforce Windsor Essex create a research paper for us that identified reasons why women pursued entrepreneurial careers or didn't, and reasons why women pursued careers in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, for those who don't know the acronym.
That was literally going to be my next question.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, there you go. So STEM, you'll see it's a science, technology, engineering, and math. And those are really, those are the fields that are primarily dominated by men. Statistically. And so we are seeing more women start to study those fields, but entering the market and actually pursuing careers in them takes a lot longer. So women, for various reasons, are studying longer in those fields. So they might do an undergrad, then a postgrad, and then maybe a PhD after that. Whereas men generally will enter the workforce in a STEM related field right after undergraduate. So this Workforce Windsor Essex report that we had contracted out to them to prepare for us really highlights the sector in terms of male versus female. What are some best practices that we can implement in our region to help inspire more women to pursue technology, not necessarily in their businesses, but even just as a career choice, whether going into a big organization, et cetera. So this is actually very timely that we're talking, because next week we're launching the marketing campaign that will showcase the findings in this report. And what we're hoping is that every year we're going to create a similar report to update the region on the numbers that, and hopefully that have increased year after year because of RISE Windsor Essex, or the Women Entrepreneurship Strategy Grant.
Okay. Well, that's great. I mean, hey, the traction is it's catching.
We're trying. There are so many, global organizations like Move the Dial, who unfortunately had to close indefinitely because of COVID-19. But there are global organizations that are doing similar things, right? And they're hosting these large conferences in Toronto and Hong Kong to help inspire more women in technology. I think it's 3% of tech companies have a woman in in executive roles, only 3%. So they're trying to, again, move that dial. But in our region, I thought it was important to have a regional specific organization to help us, because usually Toronto, the GTA, gets all of the attention to help increase the number of entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs, women in tech, but our region deserves it as well.
Mm-hmm. And see, and I think that's a great point for the amount of expansion that's available through that kind of industry, being that, I mean, even still, Toronto, center of the universe, right? Probably will continue to be that way. But with the accessibility that we have nowadays with all these kinds of platforms, there's lots of opportunity for people to kind of pick up that slack and throw your hat in the ring and get in and get out there. We were talking right before we started just about how some people were having a little bit of a challenge kind of just getting their voices out there and trying to generate some activity in business. Are you finding a lot of people are asking questions on how do I ask about this, or how do I prospect, or how do I do that sort of stuff? Exactly.
I've been finding that there have been more softer skill requirements. I mean, women can go to school and get all the knowledge they require in terms of how to do something in technology or science, whatever they're pursuing, but it's that next step. So one of the key topics in that report by Workforce Windsor Essex discusses the increase in imposter syndrome by women, especially in tech-related fields. So they might not feel as though they are, that they are worthy of a career in STEM, or that they feel as though they're going to fail in that career once they're actually out into the market. And I say STEM, whether, again, they're pursuing one in an organization or they're pursuing their own entrepreneurial startups. So RISE has partnered with various organizations in the area. We've got 6 founding partners actually, who are offering more softer skill type of workshops. So recently we held one on negotiation, because we found that women, it's statistically known, we make less money than men. And one of the reasons is that we don't negotiate our salary. So negotiating your salary was a topic. Negotiating anything. If you've got your own business, how do you negotiate with suppliers? So that was a major topic that women felt that they needed, and we brought down a great speaker. It sold out in a few days, and so hopefully we'll bring her down again. We're looking at different topics like pitching to investors. How can we pitch with confidence, and areas like that for women. So those are some great topics. Working through the Small Business Center has a lot of great workshops, and I'm going to plug them because they are part of my team, as well as We Tech Alliance, the Epicenter at the University of Windsor. They all have some great topics as well for entrepreneurs.
Oh yeah, and again, right? I've gone to them, right? I like the small business center ones, and because they're all focusing on the same ultimate mandate, for lack of a better word, which is improve business owners' skills, right? In whatever aspect that they're trying to improve, but they're touching on everything. They're touching on, right, introduction to tax and how to, right, the importance of this, and then, simple bookkeeping for your business. I really like the startup, like starting a small business one, which covers, right, the importance of brand and logo design, and then, starting a website, getting your company incorporated if you need to. And I didn't know any of this stuff. Like, I'd heard about it, but I didn't know anything about it until I went to these classes. And I was shocked at how they took complex information and really refined it down into nice, easy to understand stuff. So that's awesome that those teams are, right, everybody's kind of working together for that same goal. And so I love it. It's phenomenal. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine today, and right, they were saying that, it's tough to open our mouths. We don't want to feel like we're pitching too much or getting too pushy and like trying to get our business going. And I said, you know what, like, we're, as entrepreneurs, there is nobody else doing it for us. We got to get out there, right? You got to open your mouth. You can't be afraid.
You have to be your own advocate, for sure.
Absolutely, right? Because, and you and I joked about it before, if you don't say anything, it's a guaranteed no. Guaranteed, right? But if you ask, or, hey, try your pitch, it might be a yes, might be a no, but it might be a yes.
Yeah.
And so you're always better off to roll the dice than just take a guaranteed no, in my opinion. So, but that's awesome that you guys are doing that. So
that's great. And with those workshops too, there are actual programs that are helping to fund the entrepreneurs. So, I mean, you can go to the one-off workshops if you need, if you know exactly what you need help with. But there are programs like the Epicenter's Venture Women program that's specific for women to help them excel in their tech-related businesses. You've got the Epic Nimble program that I talked about. The Small Business Center has their Summer Company program, which is a funding program to help any student returning to school in September with a $3,000 grant through the summer and mentorship to start your business through the summer. Small Business Center also has the Starter Company program, which is a $5,000 grant in mentorship and programming. So all of these, what's nice about these programs is that it's not just, here's money, good luck. It's here's money, here are the workshops that you should be attending. Here's a mentor to help you walk through some barriers that you might be facing, etc. So there are some really, really good programs in our area. And I encourage anybody who is, whether you're male, whether you're female,
check them out.
It doesn't matter. Just, take advantage of these opportunities. They're here to help.
Absolutely. That's phenomenal. No, I appreciate the time. I think we've really given some value to some of our listeners out there that again, right, they just don't know what's going on, or they want to get a little bit more clarity in the direction and the things and the options that are available to them. So thank you very much, Nicole. I do greatly appreciate it.
No problem.
But Nicole Anderson, the program director at the Windsor Essex Economic Development Corporation, working in the RISE program, helping the women entrepreneurs and just get things going. So that's phenomenal. Thank you again, Nicole. I greatly appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And for everybody else, thank you very much for tuning in. We'll look forward to seeing you at our next one-on-one interview series. Anybody that wants to be interviewed as part of our program, send us a message, send us an email, log on to our website. It's woncan.ca, WONCAN.ca, and let us know. We'd love to get your message, your value out there to some of our other listeners, and see if we can try and help everybody out together. But other than that, I will let you all get back to your days. Thank you, Nicole. Take care.
Thank you.
And I look forward to seeing you in person when everything gets back to normal.
That would be great.
So, okay. Thanks very much.